Welcome to the pod. You are listening to What the Reality with me, Cashay Roberts, and we are back with another Toxic Tuesday episode. The reality topics. I'm talking about Kyle Richards getting into Ashley Darby, Kyle Cooke talking about him and Amanda's separation. We got to talk about this TikTok shutdown and what that means for America, if that's what we can call it. And of course, we are getting into Real Housewives of Potomac because I did not know this was basically giving the season finale. That trip was terrible. Welcome to the pod. You are listening to What the Reality with me, Cashay Roberts, and we are back with another Toxic Tuesday episode. This episode, the reality topics we have to discuss, endless. So, a couple updates. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure you guys follow What the Reality on TikTok. We're going to talk about TikTok. I don't know what's going on with TikTok. However, I will still be posting my videos on What the Reality there. And I'm going to start posting them on YouTube Reels. Or YouTube Shorts. So make sure if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you are, if you want to get the tea, the gems I drop from TikTok on there, because we don't understand what's happening with TikTok. We might need to merge them. That is on the list today. Guys, I started The Bear on Hulu. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. So first of all, I was watching, I like to just watch cooking shows sometimes, like real competitive cooking shows. And I was watching the Barbecue Showdown on Netflix. And I'm on the most recent season. I think it got canceled. I could understand why. I just like a good, like, competitive cooking show every once in a while. But this was barbecue. And I was like, ooh, period. Like, this barbecue looks good. These people, like, I'm learning a thing or two about barbecue. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so difficult. The guy on there, his name, they had a guest judge, and his name is not Christopher. Is it Maddie Bower or something? I think I just merged the names. I think his name is Maddie or whatever. And they said the creator of The Bear. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've heard of The Bear. And Hulu, out of all the apps I have, I probably use Hulu and Amazon Prime like the least, because Amazon Prime, you got to pay for certain stuff. But Hulu, because I hate the ads. But honestly, the ad time on Hulu is not that bad. It's like 90 minutes. Sometimes it's like 15 seconds. So you know what? I'm starting to Tell Me Lies too on Hulu once I finish The Bear. I'm on the last season of The Bear, and I didn't realize how recent this is. I knew it had won a couple of Oscars and stuff, though. Like, I knew it was like a serious show, but I didn't realize how like recent it was. So now I'm on season 4, which was filmed in 2025, and they're already filming 2026 season 5 now. So I'm super excited. Either way, I'm into The Bear. Got into it from literally watching a cooking reality show. And the guy on there, he was like the big guy with the tattoos as a judge. And I didn't know he was a real chef in real life. And they said he was a co-creator of The Bear. And I was like, I've heard of The Bear. I'm like, let me give The Bear a chance, because I just wanted to watch something new. And I knew I wanted to watch Tell Me Lies. But I'm so glad I started The Bear, because I didn't know it was like based in this cooking universe. And I just love shows like that. So I'm really enjoying it. I understand why it's winning all the Oscars. Like, it's just so good. So I want to watch that. I still have to watch Netflix's His and Her. So I think when I'm done with this season, like, I've binged The Bear. I'm on the last season. It's like 4 seasons out, which I also love that I waited. Like, people don't know. A lot of people know. To this day, I still haven't watched Abbott Elementary. I'm kind of waiting for that to be off air. Maybe it'll never be off air, but I'm trying. It's like I didn't get hooked onto The Office until it was off air, and I was able to binge it. It might be ahead now that it's like I can binge. I just like for a show to be done so I can binge it like back to back to back. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm glad I waited for The Bear. But I might start Abbott Elementary too. But I need to watch Netflix His and Hers. And then there was another one that was trending. So I'm going to watch His and Hers after The Bear. And then I'm going to watch Tell Me Lies, because I hear Tell Me Lies is good. And I think it's still airing now. And I want that season to be completely done before I even watch it. So that's where I'm at in terms of drama scripted series. What are you guys watching? I feel like every once in a while we need a break from reality TV to watch something like dramatic. I'm really excited to watch His and Hers. I do love Tessa Thompson. But I'm really enjoying The Bear. And now I know who these people are when I see them, because I've seen, I think her name's like Io. I can't pronounce her last name. I've seen her at multiple red carpets, Met Gala. And I'm like, I know she's from this show, but I've never watched this show. And yeah, I really like The Bear. It's just different, but like, I like it. It's described as a comedy series. It's funny, but I don't know if I would say it's strictly a comedy series. I would say it's more so like drama, like it's some serious stuff going on. But let me know if you guys watch The Bear. Here for it. Before we get into the reality topics, let's just talk about what's going on in general with topics. So I just realized I do not have my phone. Please hold. Let me grab my phone because I want to read this off of my phone. Okay, we are back. I was like, where is my phone? Because starting off, I want to talk about Kanye West. So Kanye West has issued an apology regarding all of his anti-Semitic comments. Yeah, and this was a paid advertisement through Wall Street Journal. So this was a shocker. This just dropped. I'm going to read it and give my thoughts. It's kind of long. But I'm going to read it in its total because I should. Okay, so it says 25 years ago, I was in a car accident that broke my jaw and caused injury to the right frontal lobe of my brain. At the time, the focus was on the physical damage, the fracture, the swelling, and the immediate physical trauma. The deeper injury in the one inside my skull went unnoticed. Comprehensive scans were not done, neurological exams were limited, and the possibility of a frontal lobe injury was never raised. It wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023. That medical oversight caused serious damage to my mental health and led to my bipolar type 1 diagnosis. Bipolar disorder comes with its own defense system. Denial. When you're manic, you don't think you're sick. You think everyone else is overreacting. You feel like you're seeing the world more clearly than ever, when in reality, you're losing your grip entirely. Once people label you as crazy, you feel as if you cannot contribute anything meaningful to the world. It's easy for people to joke and laugh it off, when in fact that is very serious, debilitating disease you can die from. According to the World Health Organization in Cambridge University, people with bipolar disorder have a life expectancy that is shortened by 10 to 15 years on average, and a 2 to 3 times higher all-cause mortality rate than the general population. This is on par with severe heart disease, type 1 diabetes, HIV, and cancer, all lethal and fatal if left untreated. The scariest thing about this disorder is how persuasive it is when it tells you you don't need help. It makes you blind, but convinced you have insight. You feel powerful, certain, and unstoppable. I lost touch with reality. Things got worse the longer I ignored the problem. I said and did things I deeply regret. Some of the people I love the most, I treated the worst. You endured fear, confusion, humiliation, and exhaustion of trying to love someone who was at times unrecognizable. Looking back, I became detached from my true self. In that fractured state, I gravitated towards the most destructive symbol I could find, the swastika, and even sold t-shirts bearing it. One of the difficult aspects of having bipolar type 1 are the disconnected moments, many of which I still cannot recall, that lead to poor judgment and reckless behavior that sometimes often feels like an out-of-body experience. I regret and am deeply mortified by my actions in that state, and am committed to accountability, treatment, and meaningful change. It does not excuse what I did, though. I am not a Nazi or an anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. To the Black community, which held me down through all of the highs and lows in the darkest of times, the Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. I am so sorry to have let you down. I love us. In early 2025, I fell into a 4-month-long manic episode of psychotic, paranoid, and impulsive behavior that destroyed my life. As the situation became increasingly unsuitable, there were times I didn't want to be here anymore. Having bipolar disorder is not a state of constant mental illness. When you go into the manic episode, you are ill at that point. When you are not in an episode, you are completely normal, quote unquote normal. And that's when the wreckage from the illness hits the hardest. Hitting rock bottom a few months ago, my wife encouraged me to finally get help. who's his current wife? Is that the Bianca girl? I think so. I have found comfort in Reddit forums of all places. Different people speak of being in manic or depressive episodes of a similar nature. I read their stories and realized that I was not alone. It's not just me who ruins their entire life once a year despite taking meds every day and being told by the so called best doctors in the world that I am not bipolar but merely experiencing symptoms of autism. My words as a leader in my community have read global impact and influence in my mania. I lost complete sight of that as I find my new baseline and new center through the effective regime of medication, therapy, exercise, and clean living. I have newfound much needed clarity. I am pouring my energy into positive, meaningful art, music, clothing design, and other new ideas to help the world. I'm not asking for sympathy or a free pass, though. I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask for the patience and understanding as I find my way home with love. Yee. I don't know how he signed it though. It's kind of just like, yeah. I don't know. He took out an ad for Wall Street Journal. And it was a paid advertisement. So that's what's confusing to me, is that it's a paid advertisement. Obviously I didn't pay for that statement though. It's on Twitter. I don't know. I think it has been quiet. I think he's been very quiet. I think that there's a possibility that he has definitely woken up. And who is Kanye's current wife? Is her name not Bianca Sensory? I thought they were divorcing. Bianca Sensory, okay? So, she looks, I couldn't remember her name. So he's saying she's the one that really told him to. And I just wonder how many times Kim told him, because I know Kim told him. I know they did. But I don't know. That is Kanye West's apology. He says he is not an anti-Semite. He loves Jewish people, and he is very apologetic to the Black community. I cannot speak for Jewish people because, like I said, he has made it pretty known that he hates Jewish people pastly. Like he addressed it in this apology, talking about the swastika and, the Nazi symbol, like just so much rhetoric that he has embraced. I cannot speak for that, but I know, being a Black woman, I was very disappointed in his stance on, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, All Lives Matter, and kind of him honestly, sorry, didn't realize my ringer was on, him honestly turning his back on Black people. I didn't like what he was doing with Beyonce and Jay-Z and outing the twins as being mentally challenged. I didn't like a lot of the behavior I saw, and it's so crazy because he is such a genius when it comes to the room. And it's like, was it last year or 2024 maybe that we had that Netflix documentary Genius or whatever? I thought it was very smart and it just showed his mind. But yeah, I've been very disappointed. I've been very disappointed in a couple of music people I look up to, and Kanye West is definitely one of them. I don't know if I necessarily ever looked up to him. I'm not like a rap girly, but I understand the profound impact he has on the music industry. So it is a shame to kind of see him go down that hill. I mean, like you said, he's trying to move in a new path forward just because he is paid for an advertisement in the Wall Street Journal. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. You're paying for an advertisement, whatever. And now you're trying to apologize. Look, I think everyone deserves second chances. Like I said, as a Black woman, I was disappointed in him. I am disappointed in Nicki Minaj in the way she's moving. But I do think these celebrities, they get caught up. They think one way is the best way. They think more money is the best way. And I think a lot of them rather be hated and feared because being loved kind of makes it too real, if I'm being completely honest. And I think a lot of celebrities rather be hated. I just really do, because it's kind of like you're untouchable. And I don't know, I'd rather be loved. But that is that in terms of Kanye West and his statement. Let's move on to something that is going on very real right now. TikTok is down. I uploaded a beauty video. I got a facial this weekend. I loved it. And I was like, you know what? I got to do facial aftercare so I can keep this glow. That's why I don't have any makeup on. And I've honestly been rocking like no makeup for recording podcast days because why not? I mean, maybe I'll have makeup on some days, but I just got a facial. So that's another reason why I'm not wearing makeup. And I don't know. I just feel like there's a grace period after you get a facial. I really want to keep the glow. So I really don't want to put any makeup on or like ruin any of my skin barriers. So I did a video. I posted it last night. Woke up. That thing says 0 views. I said, how? How is it still sitting at 0 views? Like, that's beyond me. Also, I just been on TikTok. It's been super laggy. Every time I click on someone's profile, it's taking me to the repost. I didn't even know you could see everyone's repost like that. I'm just like, why am I only looking at the repost? Like, where's their stuff? Like, it just looked really weird. Lo and behold, the deal finally went through. American investors did officially buy TikTok over the weekend. Oracle, the company, is also included in that. It's a group of investors that bought it. You know, there was a whole issue with China owning it because they're saying they were sharing our data with China government. But now it looks like our data is even being more shared with the current government because, you know, of course that's what's going on. I want to read you guys the new privacy policy. I know when I went on Saturday, I did hit agree. There was no option to disagree. So this is my thing. Okay, let me read about the privacy policy. Then I'm going to give my thoughts about the state of TikTok and what this means. And then we're going to move the F on because I have conflicting thoughts and I don't know if I want to express them. However, it is what the reality where I'm talking about reality. So I might express them. Privacy policy on TikTok. So, you know, we know what a privacy policy is. You agree, you disagree. There was no option to disagree. If you read it, if you click on it, you would see that this privacy policy was different than before. This one is definitely sharing your racial and ethnic origin with the U.S. government in Washington, D.C. Hey, I love the DMV. Not so much. Religious or philosophical beliefs. Why? Mental and physical health data. Why? Sexual orientation. Transgender or non-binary status. Citizenship or immigration status. Precise location. Precise. The policy goes into more. I'm reading this off of Reddit. This is from a Reddit thing. So TikTok is collecting far more than what users consciously share. Under the updated policy, it gathers that what you provide, what it observes automatically, and what it receives from third parties. That includes account details and identity verification documents, private messages, drafts and unpublished content, AI prompts, interactions, clipboard content, purchase and payment data, contact lists, social graphs, and an extensive list of technical signals such as device identifiers, keystroke patterns, battery state, audio, yada, 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 and activity tracked across devices. This is not an incidental data leakage. It's a formalized, permitted, and documented. Images and videos are treated as analyzable environments. TikTok states that it identifies objects and scenery, detects faces and other body parts, extracts spoken words, and collects metadata describing how, when, where, and by whom content was created. Post a photo near the Golden State Bridge, and you are not just sharing a moment. You are generating structured data about place, time, environment in your body or body parts. Photos and videos are not just content. They are raw material for computer vision. So TikTok is now collecting all of this data and maintaining the right to sell all of it to interested third parties, from vendors to the federal government. I saw a recent article that TikTok uninstall rates are at 150% in efforts to try to obviously keep it from China. They have now totally censored TikTok. People are saying they were trying to post things about the Minnesota ICE protests, you know, what's going on in Minnesota, Minneapolis. Unfortunately, they are killing civilians, white civilians, black civilians. They are killing civilians, these ICE people that probably live in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's crazy to me that these people can, like, be acknowledged as ICE. They're killing the folks, and yeah, now they're saying ICE has rights to literally, like, come into your house. It's scary outside. Keep in mind, I'm in the Midwest. We got a whole snowstorm going on. It's scary outside. So this new TikTok update, the TikTok has been down all weekend. It's been down today. Its stuff is lagging. It's almost as if it was banned, but now it's been like I remember the first time I went black and it was just so slow and laggy. Like, you could see the services were slowly shutting down, like the services were being disrupted. We had that issue. It's reminiscent of that because they still haven't figured it out. Obviously, I know the transition's not going to be smoothly, but you would think for a tech company it would be. TikTok may be done as we know it. So I cannot wait for the next app to come out because I will be on that thing instantly. I'm not waiting anymore because I should have been hit 10K on TikTok for my beauty page and I still haven't. And at this point, I'm just like, I don't even know if I want it. I don't know. I think this year I'm kind of in the mood of just like, I'm going to post whatever the heck I want. Like, obviously I want my beauty page to blow up. I've been sitting at 7,000 for like the past 2-3 months. I've never sat at this long. Like, normally there's some traction, some gumption. It's not even like I'm not getting the views, or sometimes I am, but it's just like my followers keep fluctuating. It's driving me nuts. So I would love to hit 10K. Honestly, I get most traction on the reality page. Like I said, reality. So this is my thing. Like, if you are spreading awareness and stuff, keep doing it. I'm spreading awareness and this stuff isn't new to me. That's why I said I have conflicting views because like it just seems as though when things are done to the ideal race, not my ideal. I mean, I don't care who's hearing, but it's like when things are done to the majority, let's say that, right? It's kind of this whole thing. The outrage on Twitter is insane. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but I'm saying, where is that energy when it's done for minorities? The ICE have killed plenty, or they killed Keith. He was black, and there is footage of other stuff, right? But I feel like because it's only happening now that it's starting to happen to the majority race in America, now they're trying to wake people up. This stuff has been happening since the 60s. It's crazy because it's not like now y'all getting a taste. I don't subscribe to that. I mean, this is America. America's been screwed up since slavery, right? I mean, since that was allowed, right? I'm just saying we went through Jim Crow. We went through police brutality, as black people. And I think for once, we wanted to vote correctly. I am fully in belief that people that are listening to this podcast are for the blues, hopefully. All are welcome, but I'm assuming that you guys are very liberal and Democrat. I don't care, but that's what I'm assuming. So honestly, I'm on the right side of history, but I'm just saying this stuff has been done the whole time. It's just different now. We are in the middle of a civil war, but we've been in civil wars before. I mean, like I said, Jim Crow, segregation, slavery, right? Police brutality, early 2020. We've been through this. So it's like, I think for me, I kind of see this outrage and I'm just like, well, this has been happening and nobody moved anything before. Like, yeah, we moved some stuff, but then the stuff got back turned to normal. And this is what happens when you vote for the orange man. I mean, I truly believe we would have been a proper society if Kamala was in. I truly believe we would have been a proper society if Hillary Clinton took that first one and shut this man down. I think the fact that he has even been able to run, been in office 2 times now in my pivotal 20s. Like, so yeah, I take stuff personal because the first time he was in office, I was going off to college, like pivotal moment in my life. And now I have this man as a president. And then of course, the second time I'm now in my mid-20s, and it's like I have this man as a president again. So it just sucks. Obviously, I'm remaining very outspoken, at least on my podcast. I don't really talk about politics on my TikTok. We can talk about housewife politics, but obviously I have to talk about it on the podcast because this is what's going on in the reality world. There's more reality besides housewives and stuff, but I just say it is kind of crazy. It is like people want you to move when stuff happens to them. And I hope everyone just is smart. I will say, if it was Black people, I just don't know if we would have gotten this much movement for injustice. I think it would have just been another Sorrows. That's all I'm saying. I feel bad for the 2 people that were recently killed. I mean, I can't really see the videos. I mean, I saw the one video of the woman, and it's just crazy how they're just pulling out guns on people and they're just killing like literally civilians. But I saw a little bit of the second one, and he was a nurse. It's crazy out here. And so now the issue with TikTok is that TikTok could possibly be censoring this stuff. People are saying they're trying to upload stuff regarding like the protests and the raids and stuff, the ICE raids. And they said they can't upload it. And people are also saying like they can't even speak about like the government. This stuff isn't working. They're censoring us in real time. We are becoming an island. So if you are listening to me from a different country, say hi. Let me know what you see. But this is America. I truly believe things are going to get worse before they get better. And that's why it's so important to vote in the November midterms this year. I know the year just started, but it's so important to vote in that because that is the only way we will have some true chance, a true opportunity to really get this man impeached. And I think it's just so important to keep turning these states blue, keep turning the seats blue, and that is that. But like I said, it is unfortunate, and now TikTok is starting to reflect what X is now reflecting, which is just a lot of stuff I don't want to see. I just want to see my makeup videos and my housewife content, but it is important to stay informed, and I always say that. It's always important to stay informed, including staying informed. We're going to move into more reality TV, lighthearted, talked about the Kanye West of it all. I talked about the TikTok. I'm only talking about Real Housewives of Potomac today because reality topics, there's a lot of them. So I want to talk about Kyle Richards. I want to talk about Kyle Cooke. Let's start with Kyle Richards. So obviously we know Mauricio was on Real Housewives of Potomac. Ashley was thirsty, flirting with him. Ashley just has no morals and boundaries, in my opinion. Like, this woman is like a sex kitten. Like, a sex doll. Like, that's all she wants is to get laid. You have no morals. Like, you're flirting with Mauricio, and everyone's like, oh, Mauricio's a single man. He's not. And we all know that. Okay, he's a single man, but he's not a single man for the Real Housewives of Potomac. And that's that. And I was actually with Giselle. People are saying she was cock blocking Ashley. No, she wasn't. She was smart. Because at the end of the day, no one will ever be a Kyle Richards to freaking Andy Cohen. I think there's just a couple of people on Bravo that once you get on their bad side, I think you could be done for. I think Andy holds Kyle Richards up there. He holds Teresa Giudice up there. People don't want to say it, but let's say it. And guys, I think he's starting to hold Stacey Rush from Real Housewives of Potomac up there. There are certain women you just don't want to mess with in the Bravo sphere. And I would definitely say Kyle Richards is up there. I'm trying to think who else. I would have said Vicky, but he gave her the boot, clearly. He's never given Kyle Richards the boot. He loves Kyle Richards. I think there's certain people, and just like I think Teresa Giudice, I don't think he would ever give Teresa Giudice the boot. Like, if I'm being completely honest, there's certain women on Bravo you just can't mess with. And I think Giselle recognized that. Like, it's like, I might be a Giselle to Andy, but I'm not no Kyle to Andy Cohen, especially since you not know Stacey to Andy. But so Kyle Richards talked about, Ashley, of course, being thirsty. I want to talk about that. This is from Page 6. She said so Kyle Richards lashed out at Ashley Darby's weird attempt at flirting with her estranged husband, quote unquote. She was on Amazon Live. She was like, we actually talked about this the other day. I don't know how it was portrayed because I haven't seen the scenes. She said she did see something, and I think she said Giselle had caught her. She said, I mean, if she was flirting, that's weird. I would never be able to date anybody that any of the women housewives dated or were married to. She said, that's just weird. I don't know. She said, I'm like, you're embarrassing yourself doing that on camera. He just bumped into them, by the way. And then she said Giselle had texted her right away because she felt uncomfortable. But Giselle ain't say that when she was saying she would definitely be interested in laying down with him vertically. Was it vertically or horizontally? I'm like, girl, that is weird. So she says she did receive a text from Giselle. She was like, just so you know, we ran into Mauricio. I don't care, everyone can just do what they want. I just thought that was embarrassing. Yeah. So that was just honestly what she said. She just said, like, Ashley is just kind of weird. Because I do think it's weird. Like, people can say he's a single man and stuff, but he's not single to the housewives. Like, I just think that's foul. Like, to try to flirt with him. And Ashley has said she was just with Kyle, or she just saw Kyle a couple of weeks ago. So it's just like, I don't know. That's what I'm like, Ashley is just so thirsty. She's so thirsty to me. And she's, like, out of all the housewives, I think the housewives, like, people I genuinely do not like. I like to keep it cute, at least for the podcast, because I'm like, who knows who's ever listening, or like, if this does become something, I hope it does. Like, I'm actually going to be intentional about that. I do want this podcast to be a really top reality TV podcast. I want the people to be here for the shade, the snark, and all of the in between, the tea, the reality. But there's like certain people I was like, I talk about Giselle, but it's like I would like to meet Giselle. I talk about Ashley. I do not care if I meet Ashley Darby or not. If I see Ashley Darby in public, I'm probably looking the other way. That is somebody I just don't screw with. I just don't like her. I think she's just messy, and I think her young girl act really showed this episode with the whole Monique situation, which we're going to talk about. I just don't like Ashley Darby, and I'm totally fine with that being known, even if she's never hears this, or if I have to be behind the bar and watch Women's Live and Ashley Darby is on that show. I'm totally fine with that, but I do not like her, and I will update you when that changes. Let's move on to Kyle Cooke. So Kyle Cooke is speaking out regarding, the situation with him and Amanda. I did have to hop on the mic last week because I finished recording, and then I went to Twitter, and of course this breaking news is out. It's like Amanda and Kyle are done, and I have been feeling it for a while. They've been really quiet. I don't think they were really together at BravoCon. It was just weird. He announced tour, and I'm like, why are you going on a DJ tour? Like, dude. Also, why is that the new thing? Meredith Marks wants to be a DJ. Dorinda's a DJ. Kyle Cooke's a DJ. It's like James Kennedy left, and like we got like 5 super lame DJs. Like, people are supportive of Meredith Marks, but it's like, girl, that woman is crazy too. I'm not talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We will talk about that next week, because the final part airs this week, and I want to talk about it in general, the reunion, next week. The whole 3 parts. But yeah, where was I going with that? I don't know why everyone wants to be a DJ. I think it's super weird. Get a different trade. I am not supportive of it. I would not pay money to see it. The only person I saw paid money in the Bravo universe actually was DJ James Kennedy. Did I pay? I don't know if I paid. I did pay for Luann, but I think that was like $40. And I would pay for Luann again because that was a ball. Okay, so this is what Kyle said on Instagram Reel. This was from January 2020. January 22nd. He said, I think people would be surprised but also happy to see that Amanda and I are in good spot. Obviously, the internet's going to do its thing, but we literally pushed send together when we posted that. He said that it was like the worst kept secret, but we just weren't ready to talk about it. He said it's a tough topic, right? But we're going to get asked 1,000 questions about our relationship based on the trailer itself. So we decided to rip the Band-Aid off. So he said it was a joint statement. He said this isn't like a big breakup. When there's a smoking gun and there's a lot of hate, there's absolutely some frustration. I've done things, she's done things, but we've got each other's backs. We care about each other. We still love each other. He also was saying how like it was one of those things that they were trying to decide if they wanted to give it another go. I guess they had taken a break, and it's like they didn't want to give each other false hope or like anyone false hope. They were kind of just both done. And yeah, so we'll see if more information comes out. I feel like even with the whole Paige and Craig Conover of it all, when they broke up, it was like, oh, it's nothing really, not a big deal, you know. And then it ended up being a whole social media war. So we shall see not Kyle Richards, Kyle Cooke, because I do think he's probably done something or she's found something else out. I just don't believe it. I really don't believe it. But hey, moving on. Okay, so the Traitors. The Traitors have released a cyberbullying statement, and I'm just like, Love Island would never. Also, guys, I updated my phone. It's so crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's still giving Apple, but in an Android way. I'm not gonna lie. There's just some things like the FaceTime and stuff that I gotta get used to. But you know what I'm obsessed with? Apple Music Auto DJ. It was getting some hate on social media. I love it. Some of the mixes are not mixing, but a good amount of mine are, and I am thoroughly impressed, especially when I'm at the gym and I got the little auto DJ mix. I'm like, period, Apple, show me what you're made of. I've been here for it. I've honestly been here for it, but there's some kinks I still got to work out, but it's not bad. Like, it's really not bad. I just think people love to hate something at first and then they end up liking it. I'm like, can we all just like have our own opinions? Like, I swear people just love to get on the internet and hate. But let's talk about the Traitors. The Traitors said you is not about to bring that hate over here. And that's why I said there's something. It's crazy because Traitors and Love Island are both on Peacock or like Love Island USA. And I feel like Love Island never released a cyberbullying statement in the thick of it. They only released it when Huda was getting bad stuff. Because I guess they was calling Child Protective Services on her. I don't know. That woman has vanished ever since that video, and I am so glad. But I'm saying when Shelly and Alandria were in the thick of like all the racism, I was shocked that Love Island never released anything. I think they either released something with the whole Huda situation or Vanna. You guys remember Vanna when it was like Casa and everybody was talking about her looks? It's like she might be a UK baddie like 10, but she's a US 1. Let me stop. Anyway, so Traitors has released a cyberbullying statement, and this is mostly coming from all sides. I mean, people take it too serious. I think the people on Traitors take it too serious. It's always so funny to me because I'm like, y'all are serious, like, that upset about it. It is a game show. Like, I just feel like if I was on Traitors, like, yeah, I'd be sorry if I was banished. I think I'd be more upset if I was murdered than banished. Because banished, I'm like, all right, let me see what arguments y'all got. Murdered, I wasn't even important enough to be banished. Like, I just feel like murdered, I would take personal. That's why I understand why Dorinda came back. So, like, dang, I didn't even get a chance to really put up a fight. You just murdering me? Like, I would hate to be murdered versus banished on Traitors. So, basically, the people are obsessed with Rob Rush from Love Island. Seeing some sparks between him and Moira. I don't know if it's legit, but, you know, we love a good, like, story. I don't know if it's legit, but so we have that going on. People are obsessed with Rob, and Rob, we don't really talk about Traitors on here because, like, I don't know, I think that's the show I'm gonna keep to myself. If you want to get my Traitors thoughts, maybe I'll start talking about it on TikTok. I think in order to enjoy still doing the podcast, there's certain reality shows I got to keep to myself because I'm just like, I just want to keep this in my back pocket for myself. Either way, Rob then double crossed the housewives. The people are mad, coming for Rob, the housewife. And then there's people coming for Candace because in Lisa Rinna for coming for Rob. So you just have all these different fan bases. And then unfortunately you have people coming for poor Ron, including Dorinda, who is off her rockers most of the time. But I think something was going on between her and Ron because I saw some interview with Ron saying that production had to remind Dorinda multiple times to stop bringing up certain stuff because she was just off her rocker. And I guess that she got into it with Caroline Stanberry. And I'm like, why aren't we seeing this? But then I have to remember, like, Traitors is not Housewives. Because best to believe if it was Housewives, we would be seeing it. But basically, people are accusing Ron of being gay when he said that he can't wait to go. It was kind of sad. He was like, you know, he's like, what are you guys going to do for your next elimination? He's like, I'm not talking about the one upcoming because I know I'm leaving. It was like so real. He's like, it was fun to come. He's like, I'm looking forward to go back to my kids and like, my girlfriend. It was kind of sad to watch him like depart. I'm not gonna say. I think he put up a really good fight though, and I think he twisted a lot of them. And I think it was really good how they got in. I always said like I think Lisa Rinna was gonna be a dead giveaway because knowing how Lisa Rinna is as a housewife, at least, I am shocked that she's not acting that way on Traitors. But then I have to remember she was Lisa Rinna before Housewives, and she'll be Lisa Rinna after Housewives. Either way, Ron has been getting allegations of being gay because people were shocked that he's saying like he's going back to his kids and his girlfriend. And then the people have also been saying he's autistic. So because of that, Ron has issued a statement saying that he didn't realize that he was autistic. So he did get diagnosed with autism after the show. He got diagnosed with it. The Loot Star. I've never watched his show, so I don't know where he's from. But yeah, so he has revealed he's been diagnosed. He's a comedian. Okay. He said the internet told me, so he posted this on his story and I felt really bad. He said the internet told me I was autistic and was right. And then he said, you win this round, still not gay yet. Thanks to Traitors for helping me find out more about me. I don't know why. Thanks, Traitors, for helping me find out more about me through some type of cruel trauma. Yikes. So then I'm assuming it was this that urged Traitors to really like post the cyberbullying statement of the cast. It was like saying like, we are committed to like making our cast feel safe and respected and supported, yada, yada, yada. And they're just saying like, let's not ruin the passion for the show with unwarranted negativity and personal attacks. We appreciate your support. And this came after Ron revealed that his time on the show led to the discovery that he was autistic because of so many comments. So he did get that checked out. And yeah, he is autistic. People are cruel. People are cruel behind the keyboards when they don't have much going on. They are cruel. Sydney Sweeney, I'm just going to throw this in there really quick. Bra outrage. I'm like, what the heck? So basically she went around Hollywood. She went to the Hollywood sign to hang her bras up. And now she might be facing vandalism crimes. And yeah, the Hollywood officer chamber or whatever, it was like, you had no right to do that. I mean, just let a girl hang her bras. I don't know. I think everything she does is just so like basic. So I'm just like, whatever, girl. If you want to go hang your bras, go hang your bras. I hope you don't collect them back because ill. Netflix got some new reality shows coming out. Alex Earl, Gordon Ramsay, and then I just saw the trailer for America's Next Top Model docuseries with Tyra Banks in it. I will be doing a deep dive on America's Next Top Model. I like for things to be a shock. I hope you guys like the Michael Rappaport. I just felt like that would have been fun to do. Also, speaking of Michael Rappaport, it's been revealed, and it's so crazy because I just hope I didn't speak anything. Sometimes the tongue is very powerful. I was talking about Michael Rappaport in his expose he did on Natasha Lyonne back in 2005 for Jane Magazine. Make sure you guys give a listen to that. And now I was talking about how, like she has maintained that she is sober now. Everything is fine. I just saw a report that she relapsed current day. I think this was like yesterday. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I hope everything's okay because I thought she was so strong in her sobriety. And obviously if you relapse, it doesn't mean you're not strong in your sobriety, but it is insane because I had just talked about the expose and I just hope everything's okay because I was not expecting that report. But yeah, America's Next Top Model docuseries. I think it's a docuseries. I don't know if it's a documentary or a docuseries, but Netflix is doing that. And Tyra Banks is in it. The former judges are in it. Jay Lyle, I cannot remember his name. The one with the blonde hair, right? All of them are in it. I'm really excited for that. And like I said, I will be doing a deep dive on America's Next Top Model because that is a show I used to watch. I used to give a good smize, but I always knew I was not going to be a model. Even though everybody always talks about my cheekbones, my bone structure, I always knew I was not going to be a model because I'm 5'2". And I'm just like, in what world is a 5'2" woman a model? Oh, Alandria Carthan. But yes, that is coming out. It looks really good. If you guys have not seen the documentary. Make sure you check it out. And maybe I'll have my deep dive on America's Next Top Model out around the time that comes out. But I need some more time. So don't come out anytime soon. But knowing them, it's probably coming out in February. So that might be my next topic. And then finally, let's talk about Potomac. Let's get into Potomac. Obviously, I want to talk about the reunion looks, which I'm going to pull up on the screen if you are watching on YouTube. And make sure you look at that. Well, I'm looking for my Potomac looks link so I can bring it up. I love that they color coordinate, but if I'm being completely honest, this reunion definitely failed to, impress me. Their last year was a lot better. It was a lot better. I only really liked one look, and I'll tell you that look. But other than that, there was something I wanted to say before I move into Potomac, because then we're going to just move into the recap, and that is going to be the show. Like I said, I didn't have time to watch Married to Medicine because I've had so much going on lately. And I didn't want to rush that recap. So enjoy Married to Medicine. I might talk about it on TikTok, YouTube, Shorts. But I gotta watch it first. But I'm gonna talk about Potomac for sure on TikTok, and then I might start posting those videos on YouTube Shorts as well, so I get more engagement that way, because I don't know what's going on with TikTok still. I was going to say something. I can't remember. Let's get into these Potomac looks. So it was all red. It was an all red look. First up, we have Giselle Bryan. I'm a literally edit it and put it on the screen. So let me take a screenshot every time I take one. And this is what I mean, Apple. It's giving. It's like all my buttons are in different places. I don't know. So Giselle is in a one piece. I was gonna say, who is the dress, guys? The dress is Victoria Beckham. I'm sure the dress is gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie, Victoria Beckham. Oh my gosh, that has been. I should have added that in my reality stuff. The whole inappropriate. She was grinding on her son, which I don't think she was. I'm hearing like rumors and nastiness that Romeo's wife, is that the oldest, or Brooklyn? I think it's Brooklyn. Has always been thirsty to be famous. I don't know. It's weird with like mothers and the first son. I will just say that. But that story is unraveling. We also forgot to talk about the whole Taylor Swift, Blake Lively of it all, but that is like so overdone. I could not. There's just too much going on. But yes, this is Victoria Beckham. The shoes are Renee Caovilla. Hairstylist. Okay, so Giselle does not look good. Moving on. Ashley Darby. I've seen this dress somewhere and I cannot put my finger on it. The dress is Albina Dyla. The dress is not bad. I think it's her poses. So it's like, let me take a screenshot and like, obviously I'll bring it up. But if I forget, I'm showing you guys right now. The way the dress is, if you already have a lot going on the right side of your dress, why are you posing with your right hand covering your dress? The right side of your dress. I would have maybe done a different pose or put your left hand on your hip, because now I can't see what this is right here. I think she just poses so weird. I mean, body's banging. I actually like Ashley's dress. I just didn't really get a chance to enjoy it because of her pose. And I'm like, I want to see what this puff is, because the dress is actually really good. It's very dramatic. Tia Glover. If there's one thing I dislike with certain dresses, is this mesh right here. Especially if it does not match your skin tone. That is one thing I actually despise, is when it doesn't match your skin tone. So this looks cheap to me. This is a custom dress by Brides by Nona. I've actually heard of Brides by Nona. I want to say I don't know if they're Black owned. Yeah, that kills me when it's not the same color as you. So it's like you doing match, but it just doesn't even match your skin tone. Angel Massey. Honestly, I like Angel. I probably would have done the hair differently. I'm trying to show you because I have my blurring background on. I would have done the hair differently. Maybe like an updo. Um, this is Pearl's Bridals. I don't think the dress looks bad. I just think I would have done the hair differently. Yeah. I'm like, is she on Catfish? I don't think so. Yikes. We are gonna talk about this episode, you guys. Wendy Osefo, Pam Oliver, best dress, easily, beautiful. And then you know what I learned? Her stylist is Paris Shea. Paris Shea obviously is the stylist that Britt Eady and Kelly from Real Housewives of Atlanta got into it with. Paris Shea has been working with all of the girls in Housewives. He's been working with Portia. He's worked with Cynthia. I think he's worked with Drew Sidora. Now he's working with some of the Potomac ladies. What I saw one of his tweets and he said that Bravo pays for hair and makeup because someone was like, did she pay? He was like, well, Bravo pays, but it's like, you think she don't got money? He is very messy. I think if you're going to be a stylist, just be a stylist. You a little too messy to be a stylist right now. He's just in the conversations too much. I wouldn't have even acknowledged that. The fact that I know that now Bravo pays for hair and makeup is crazy. I thought the girls were paying for it. This is beautiful. The dress is beautiful. She is wearing Sergio Hudson, that is Black owned. That feather jacket though was Albina Dyla, who also Ashley was wearing. Correct? I'm gonna have to check out some other stuff. I want to see what. Okay, and then Angel Massey's her because she had like a feather shawl too. The stole was Helen Yarmak. So like I said, Wendy looks amazing. She looks really good considering that she'll probably be going to jail. She's probably going to jail, guys. I've came to terms with it. Then we got Stacy. So Stacy, she looks good. Also, I don't know why people keep saying she looks like Kenya Moore. She does not look like Kenya Moore. Just because they're both from Detroit, she does not look like Kenya Moore at all. Stacy looks good, but Stacy always wears a dress like this, so it's kind of boring to me. And her hair is always the same. Like, her hair looked better on Watch Women's Live, which I did not get a chance to watch. Guys, I'm only recapping the Potomac. Sorry. So Stacy's in Model Pillow, Aiken Todd, Black owned. Yeah, I just feel like Stacey always wears the same stuff. But I guess it's good when you know what your body looks good in. Wear it, right? Kierna Stewart. So this to me was not good. Maybe TikTok's back up. I'm getting notifications. Let me make sure I was saving all of them. Yeah, Kay normally looks amazing, but I just don't think that it looks good. She's wearing Valdra and Sahidi. I've heard of them. I just didn't like it. It reminded me of Wendy's one dress that looked like a toothpick, like a big giant tooth. So I wasn't like crazy obsessed with it. In Kay, I just felt like even the shoe wasn't cute with it. It's just basic. The shoe was Christian Louboutin. I mean, even Louis makes mistakes, right? Or Louboutin makes mistakes, in the words of Luann. I don't know. I just feel like this dress is not suiting her. I feel like she has bigger breasts, or the breast job she does have, like, it's kind of swandering her top. And it's like, I just don't like it. Jassy. Terrible. If this was in all red, if this was in freaking black, it would have been giving me like that Miami reunion. I would have liked it more. This is Jose Altair. I hate this. Her makeup, though, looks really good. I do not like this dress. I'm just not a fan of Jassie's dress. I think I saw a couple of different versions of this dress online because AI, and someone I think also recolored it. Even if it was all red, it looks like it would have ate. Even if it was red and then white roses instead, or I didn't see a black version, but I just felt like this looks not good. But perhaps the worst dress is Monique Samuels. This dress is giving me Cadet Kelly, G.I. Joe. It is not good. It looks extremely cheap. This is Riley Knox Couture. I mean, it's a custom dress, but just because it's custom does not mean it's giving. I wonder who's sitting next to her because that would be annoying. It just does not look good. It looks like it looks like costume design. I don't like it. I do not like it at all. And then we had the Grande Dame, who people said like she looked amazing, but I personally did not really care for the dress. It's like a corset style, like 2-piece. I personally did not care for it, but it is good to see her look good. So this dress was it doesn't tell us which brand this is, but yeah, it doesn't say what brand. But that's what Karen wore. I would say my best dress are probably not shockingly, because like Wendy is like typically best dressed for me. But I think for me, it's definitely her and Ashley. I do like Ashley's. I just wish she would have posed differently. But I actually do like Ashley's dress. I just think I needed to see it in person. Let's move on to the Real Housewives of Potomac recap, and that will be your Toxic Tuesday episode. And then I'm going to go watch Married to Medicine because what is going on over there? So, first of all, I did not know this was the season finale. Technically, it's not the season finale because the next episode we get is of Karen Huger and the whole sit down with Andy Cohen. So technically this is not, but I did not know this was the ending for the group. Like I didn't know we were ending in Colorado, stranded in Colorado. Did they make their flight? Did they not make their flight? It's giving they didn't make their flight because they were in the middle of like nowhere. All these different fights are breaking out, all in the time span of a drive. So the ladies have decided that they're going to do brunch and go home. But Angel's like, you know what? We had an activity planned. I don't understand. I think it's poor planning that you would plan fly fishing for the last day and then you're supposed to get to the airport. Like, aren't you gonna smell smelly? Like, I just don't understand. And then also with Angel, sorry Angel, I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. I didn't like when they were dogpiling you, but then like this trip has been terrible. You're a hostess. You're supposed to be a hostess and you've been doing a terrible job. So apparently she said in the opening to Giselle, she's like, there's as many bathrooms as possible as you want. How do you know there's bathrooms here? You've never been to this location because you're getting lost on the way here. So I'm like, I'm just catching Angel in all of these lies, honestly. And it's honestly like frustrating me because I'm like, girl, you are a liar. You are a liar. You don't know how to plan nothing. And I would be pissed if I went all the way out to Colorado for this. I would be like, this is the best we got. So the ladies are in the car, and the way Angel shared that she doesn't even like fish, the ladies are like, nobody was moved at all. So Angel, Tia, and Kay, they decide to leave in the middle of the night, and this is the thing. I don't blame them because you had to drive there and then drive back. I don't understand why Angel is driving and not like just getting an Uber, somebody that honestly knows the area. So they arrive at the Four Seasons. The ladies are like able to bath and stuff. That's that. But we don't even see anything happen in the hotel because Giselle's like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Like, she's over it. We know Jassy and Ashley go off to a bar to do some bull riding. The ladies are beat because it's not been ideal and they smell. But Angel, Tia, and Kay, they were supposed to be staying there. They did. Giselle got them rooms. Production got them rooms. And, they said they were going to stay, but they ended up leaving in the middle of the night. And it makes sense because like they had to go back and get their luggage. The home was like an hour away, so they might as well have went there. So they were just going to meet them at fly fishing. They weren't going to do the brunch. I didn't even see the ladies do the brunch. So ladies just jet off to fly fishing. There's a lot of different stuff happening. Fly fishing, it was supposed to be like an hour drive, it jumped to like a 90-minute drive, and then like 120 minutes. Like it just kept going up because it was like Denver and it's like a bunch of stuff going on, rush hour. And then keep in mind, there's like a clock going on for production of when they're supposed to be checked in for the flight. Like I said, why are we doing all this stuff? You have to be at the flight. I don't like to plan huge activities far before I leave. I like an early flight. I like to enjoy my destination, the first couple of days. And then when we're flying out, I try to look for the earliest flight because I like to go home. When vacation is over for me. I don't like to like wait. Like it's so crazy because my mom, she is notorious for booking a flight the end of the day. And I hate it. I'm like, girl, I am ready to go. I was ready to go when I woke up this morning because I just want to go back and like get into the rhythm of things. But my mom loves staying in an area or at a place, for X amount of time. Like she's like, period. Like I'm going to be out in this location until my flight. And it's like, no, I'd rather go home. Some people are like that. But like fly fishing, when I feel like you're going to be dirty, and it's like you said there's bathrooms there and there's attractive people. I didn't see any attractive people. And now, I mean, besides the food was attractive that didn't even end up being eaten. But I just feel like Angel just, she talks a big game. And then social media did their work. Wonderland is closed, temporarily closed, even though it is peak winter time in Colorado. So, Angel, we tried. This has been a horrible trip, but it's actually been like hilarious because everything that could go wrong has literally went wrong. So the ladies go back. Like I said, I don't blame them because it's a lot to go there, get your luggage, come back. You're not getting your luggage. So then so we have several cars, right? We got Angel, Tia, and Kay in a car heading to the destination. We have Monique, Giselle, and Ashley in a car. And then we have Stacy, Jassy, and Wendy in a car, which seems fine. Stacy's trying to open her nuts. She rolls her eyes at Jassy, and then Jassy look over, roll her eyes. I didn't know there was some tension between them. It kind of seemed to come out of nowhere. Stacy basically confronts Jassy about exchanging numbers with Charisse. My question is, I don't know why we're just bringing this up because that been happened. So I don't understand why we are bringing this up right now. Like, okay. And then Jassy, confronts that with kind of, or like, gives it back with like, well, why did you only come to my wedding? Because it was being filmed. And so people are saying like, well, Jassy, like I can't with social media sometimes. They're just like, Jassy, well, you wanted your wedding filmed. Okay, and but the tea is, it's like, you're my friend and you were only going to come if it was filmed or if Wendy and Ashley were coming, right? Lo and behold, we learned that the only reason they weren't talking is because Jassy was secretly recording Stacy on the phone as they're talking crap about the group, basically. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think Stacy is lying because Stacy is a liar. And I just feel like that came out of nowhere. And if you guys remember when she sits down with Jassy, she's like, I have to apologize for being a bad friend and not being there for you in your events of wedding planning and all of this stuff. So I just felt like now all of a sudden you're bringing up the recording thing. And so then I understand Jassy saying it's like, you only brought me into the group because you were on the outs with everyone. And then to Stacy's defense, Stacy's like, well, now I brought you in the group and you flipped on me just like I thought you would. And it's like, a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. It's like, I don't know. I don't know why she brought up the Charisse thing and why I was rubbing her the wrong way. I feel like we are episodes past that. So maybe it was like production, like, y'all, we got a long car ride. We need something to pop. So we got that happening in that car. And then we have in, Giselle, Ashley, and Monique's car, the wannabe's car, the wannabe Giselle's car. We have in that car that essentially, Ashley just outed herself that she was the one telling Monique that she's the one that went to Chris and asked if him and Stacy hooked up. And Monique was like, you didn't tell me that part. And she's like, I thought I told you that part. There we go. Ashley being messy. So now I just kind of feel like Ashley kind of just told on herself that you were the one that's in communication with Chris. You're the one that most likely said that Monique was talking crap. I think Monique in that moment was kind of like, I gotta watch you. I gotta watch you because you didn't disclose that information with me. So that's that. So we have that happening in the car. And then we go back to the other car. Also, in the midst of all this, Tia and them are on the way driving, and they are lost because they were supposed to be there, and it's like they're lost. Like, and I don't know what's going on with Angel. Like, she's just, it's just really bad. I don't know if she's gonna come back. This is very bad. We thought she knew where she was going. She's getting lost in the moment. So then we go back to Stacy and them car. So Stacy, now Wendy's getting involved. She's like, Wendy was like, I told you was going to look crazy if you did not go to her wedding. And then you said you did not care. You said you did not know when the wedding was. And you said you did not know Ashley and Wendy were going. And basically, we see the clip. You did know Ashley was going. Because Ashley said that. But it's like, she wasn't trying to go. And I wish if she wasn't trying to go because she did feel like Jassy was recording her, she should have been said that. The fact that she's now like bringing this up that Jassy was possibly recording her, I feel like you just pulled that out of your rear end. Like, that came out of nowhere. We've never heard of this before. That's why that's why I'm like, Stacey's a liar. Like, I like Stacey, but you are lying. And then she's saying, well, she didn't know when the wedding was and then she was launching her business. But it's like, you got the wedding invitation last season. I think Stacey didn't want to go because it wasn't being recorded. And she sees Jassy as a housewife friend. She's like, is this being recorded? And I think it should have been recorded. I think Jassy should be full-time. And people are changing their energy. They're like, she doesn't need to be full-time. She made this whole mess. All of this stuff. And I'm just like, no, I think she should still be full-time. I still appreciate Jassy. Like, can we please, like, just because she comes for your favorite doesn't mean she should be axed from the show. I still think she deserves to be there more than some of the ladies currently sitting. I just think that. So then we have Wendy going off saying, like, that's a lie. You know, Wendy's chiming in, all that stuff. And that's really that. So then we come to the conclusion, because now we're bringing back up the whole Chris and Monique of it all and the Stacey of it all. I don't understand why we're bringing that up, but I really do think production was like, this is a long ride. We need something from y'all, right? So they're like, so now now Ashley's like, well, the way Wendy's trying to defend Stacey's basically saying that it's probably Angel that went to Bobby and Bobby went to Chris. Monique's like, do you think that would really happen? And they're like, I don't know, because Angel's normally like a go-lucky girl. Like, she don't seem like messy for the vibes or whatever. But I think she could have definitely told them what they were saying. And Bobby definitely could have went back to Chris. I definitely think that's a possibility. I think Cookie definitely went back to Chris from Kay. I don't think Stacey, honestly, is the one leaking the info, especially if she's with her man. Like, I just felt like that's a cheap shot, in my opinion. And then, so we see the excursion getting set up. The excursion is still 2 hours out. Angel and them are still lost. The women the time keeps tracking on, and the time is running out for them to be checked into their flight. They're not going to make fly fishing. They pull over to a gas station, so essentially Jassy and Stacey get into it again. And this time, Wendy is also into it, but it's in front of the full group. And Wendy went off on Stacey because she's just saying, like, you're lying. It's like, I've always had your back, and now you're saying whenever we get into it, you say I'm not a true friend, and I feel like I've been your only true friend. They get into it. I think Wendy was doing a little too much, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, the ladies end up calling Angel and them. And Angel's like, I thought you guys really would have been at the excursion by now. We're lost. Keep in mind, in the midst of all of this fighting back and forth with the cars, Angel and them end up on a huge mountain at a wrong campsite. So she said the coordinates they sent, it was wrong. But I'm like, girl, I thought you've been here before. What is going on? Yeah, I don't know. It's honestly insane to me. Angel has a last minute breakdown. I don't know if Tia even makes it. And then we kind of get a sneak peek of what's to come for the final episode, which is a sit down with Andy and Karen. And that is what I'm looking forward to. The trip ended at the gas station. and the margaritas and stuff. They had to head to the airport. I don't know if they made it to the airport. I'm wondering if next episode we see if they made it to the airport. But it did close out, and then we did get an update. The biggest update of them all was probably that, Giselle did lose the will for her father because her father ended up marrying a white woman, and I guess that wife got that. So that's that. They did not get anything from the will. And yeah, the biggest update was that Wendy and Eddie are facing fraud allegations, face up to 15 years in prison if convicted. So that's how it ended. I think it was a really good season. For the trip to be like that, it ended so terribly. It's almost like this is going to be unforgettable. I would not trust Angel. Do we think Angel is coming back? I don't know. She says she's coming back. I think she wants to redeem herself. There's a part of me that thinks she deserves to come back, but I also don't think she's kind of just cut out for the show. I think she lets a lot of it get to her. And it's crazy to me that she had to call her Wonderland people to tell them they're not coming. Like, this whole thing was canceled. I think it was terribly planned that this was even supposed to happen before the flight, because I'm not trying to smell like fish. It was just terribly planned. I'm looking forward to the reunion because Wendy has the most to answer for, and then I'm excited to see this Karen episode, which I'll also be recapping, but it won't be as much as in depth unless it's like some huge bombshells. Next week I'll probably mostly focus on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The 3-part reunion will be fully out by then, and then I'm gonna talk about obviously Married to Medicine and I'll talk about the episode. But thank you so much for listening to Toxic Tuesday. This was What the Reality with me, Cash J. Roberts. Until the next time.